Hello AmericansChannel. This video is made by free videos from Storyblocks, and these images and video we use just for explanation, and it's free use also.
A bald eagle refused to move and its silent plea crushed us. A bald eagle sat motionless in the middle of the road, bringing traffic to a complete standstill. Horns blared, frustrated drivers shouted, but nothing moved. Amanda, equal parts curious and exasperated, stepped out of her car. A couple of officers joined her, and together they cautiously approached the scene to figure out what was going on. As they drew closer, something about the bird seemed off. It was undeniably majestic, but there was an unsettling air about it. Something wasn't right. Then, breaking the tense silence, Officer Daniels pointed and murmured, "Look at its wing." Officer Daniels approached the bald eagle cautiously, his flashlight casting a steady beam of light. "Let's see if you're all right," he said softly, carefully inspecting the majestic bird. The crowd stood silent, their attention fixed on the scene. Amanda lingered on the edge, nervously biting her lip. "Is it injured?" she asked, her voice barely above a whisper. "Not sure yet," Daniels responded, his gaze focused and intent as he searched for any signs of harm. Amanda crouched, studying the eagle with a mix of curiosity and caution. Despite the surrounding chaos, the bird remained unnervingly calm. "It's just watching us," she murmured, her voice barely audible. Perched with an air of majesty, the eagle's sharp eyes flicked between the people nearby, its gaze sharp and deliberate. Amanda couldn't ignore the tension in its stillness, as if it were silently poised for action. "Why aren't you moving?" she whispered, as though the bird might break its silence and answer, its cool, unyielding stare holding secrets she couldn't quite grasp. Lisa finally stepped out of her car and joined Amanda. "Do you have any idea what's going on?" she asked, her curiosity evident. Amanda shook her head. "Not yet," she replied. Their eyes met briefly, a shared mix of concern and fascination passing between them as they both took in the strange scene. Lisa sighed, crossing her arms. "I've never seen anything like this before. What's it even doing just sitting there?" Her voice broke the silence, echoing the unspoken question on everyone's mind. Captain Reyes arrived at the scene with quiet authority, a tranquilizer gun firmly in hand. "We might need this if things get out of control," he informed the group, his voice steady. Amanda felt a complicated mix of relief and unease. Would it really come to that? "Let's proceed carefully," Reyes continued, his tone calm yet commanding as he issued instructions to his team. The tension in the air was palpable, the crowd holding their collective breath, each person silently hoping the situation wouldn't spiral out of control. Amid the noise and chaos, the eagle remained astonishingly still. Its piercing eyes scanned the crowd of onlookers as though silently assessing each one of them. Amanda couldn't help but feel an uncanny sense of calm in its presence. "It doesn't look frightened," observed Officer Daniels, his voice tinged with both curiosity and admiration. The crowd hung back, uncertain and apprehensive, unsure of what, if anything, they should do. "It's almost like it's waiting for something," Amanda murmured, her words capturing the quiet tension that gripped them all. Lisa turned to Amanda, her curiosity evident. "Do you know anything about handling wildlife? Looks like we could really use an expert right now." Amanda let out a nervous laugh. "Not exactly my specialty, but I've watched plenty of nature documentaries." Their shared chuckle broke the tension for a brief moment before fading quickly. Around them the group appeared just as uncertain. "Has anyone called animal control?" Lisa asked, her eyes scanning the area for any sign of help. They all stood in uneasy anticipation, their attention fixed on the eagle. Captain Reyes quickly assessed the situation and began issuing orders with precision. "Let's get these roads safely blocked off," he commanded, his tone calm yet authoritative. The officers moved with practiced efficiency, setting up barriers to redirect the vehicles still stuck in the gridlock. Amanda observed their coordination, silently admiring their professionalism. Lisa, standing nearby, offered a nod of approval. "They've got it under control," she said, her tension easing slightly. The crowd, reassured by the swift action, began to settle, at least for the moment, content that order was being restored. Officer Daniels took a cautious, deliberate step toward the eagle, his eyes locked on its piercing gaze. "Easy there, big fella," he murmured, his tone calm and steady, a quiet attempt to defuse any tension. Amanda stood frozen, holding her breath, uncertain of what might unfold. The eagle remained perfectly still, its sharp eyes unwavering as it seemed to assess Daniels with an unspoken intensity. "I'm just here to help," Daniels said gently, extending his hand in a gesture of reassurance, his movements measured and unthreatening, a silent promise of peace to the majestic creature. Amanda borrowed a pair of binoculars from a nearby spectator, her eyes scanning the horizon with urgency. She couldn't shake the feeling there might be more birds nearby. "Do you see anything?" Lisa asked, studying Amanda's tense expression. "Not yet," Amanda replied, her voice steady despite the rapid thudding of her heart. She wasn't entirely sure what she was looking for, but she pressed on, driven by an unspoken hope. Just in case there are more, she added, her words hanging in the air. What she didn't say was the silent wish that whatever the eagle was waiting for would soon reveal itself. A small crowd had gathered, their voices buzzing with guesses about the eagle. Maybe it's lost, one person suggested. Another offered, could be sick. Amanda stood quietly, considering each possibility. Then a young man spoke up, his voice curious. What if it's guarding something? His theory lingered in the air, sparking new intrigue. Speculation rippled through the group, but no one seemed any closer to an answer. Yet, as the puzzle deepened, the crowd grew more engrossed, bound together by their shared curiosity. Amanda suddenly heard a faint rustling from the nearby bushes. She paused, her curiosity instantly sparked. Did anyone else hear that? She asked, glancing at the group. Intrigued, she stepped closer, a mix of excitement and unease bubbling within her. It might be important, Lisa remarked, noticing Amanda's growing interest. As Amanda leaned in, her eyes scanned the dense greenery, searching for whatever was concealed within. The others remained still, silently watching, anticipation hanging in the air. Captain Reyes took charge of the chaotic road situation. Let's keep this safe, people, he commanded, his movements sharp and purposeful. The officers quickly sprang into action, skillfully redirecting cars with firm waves and polite instructions. Amanda observed as the congestion began to ease, a sense of relief washing over her. That's more like it, Lisa said, her tension visibly diminishing. With the roadblock firmly in place, the atmosphere grew noticeably calmer, allowing everyone to refocus on the strange scene before them. As the officers worked, Lisa noticed a driver growing visibly impatient. She offered a gentle smile. It's just a small delay, she said, trying to calm him. The man exhaled deeply, rubbing his forehead. Yeah, I suppose. It's just strange. Lisa nodded, sensing his frustration. We're all in this together, right? She replied, her tone reassuring. The man gave a faint nod and a small smile. Thanks, he said quietly, his tension easing slightly after their brief exchange. Officer Daniels motioned towards something unusual, catching Amanda's attention. Take a look at that, he said, pointing near the eagle's feet. Amanda followed his gesture, narrowing her eyes to focus. Beneath the eagle's talons lay a peculiar shape, partially obscured by its sharp claws. What do you think it is? She murmured softly, careful not to disturb the bird. The object's shadowy outline only deepened the intrigue, its identity shrouded in mystery. Amanda studied the eagle intently, her gaze narrowing as she noticed something unusual about its wing. That doesn't look right, she murmured, her eyes fixed on the odd angle. Lisa leaned in for a closer look, a quiet gasp escaping her. Do you think it's injured? She asked softly. Amanda shrugged, concern flickering across her face, though her determination was clear. The discovery stirred a wave of sympathy among the onlookers, their curiosity now heightened. This new detail added another layer to the mystery, strengthening Amanda's resolve to uncover the truth. It wasn't long before Mark, a seasoned wildlife expert, arrived, exuding calm confidence and ready to take charge. Let's see what we're dealing with here, he said, offering Amanda a reassuring nod. His bag of tools, meticulously prepared, hinted at his readiness for any situation. Nice to meet you, Amanda replied, her relief evident as she welcomed his expertise. As Mark began assessing the scene with practiced precision, a wave of hope rippled through the crowd. At last someone capable had arrived, someone who just might turn the tide. Amanda and Mark stood on the outskirts of the group, quietly discussing the situation. Is this normal? Amanda asked, a flicker of hope in her voice. Mark shook his head. Eagles typically avoid humans, he said. Something unusual must be keeping it here. Their conversation caught the attention of others, who edged closer to eavesdrop. The mystery only grew deeper, each clue revealing itself piece by piece. But at least now, Amanda had someone experienced to help her untangle the puzzle. With a plan taking shape, Captain Reyes turned to his officers and commanded, spread out. Give them some space. The team moved swiftly, expanding the perimeter around the scene with practiced efficiency. Amanda watched as the new boundaries took form, a small sense of reassurance settling over her. More room to work this out, Lisa remarked quietly beside her. The road grew still, the crowd easing into a patient lull. The tension in the air began to lift, ever so slightly, as order returned to the chaos. Mark crouched a safe distance away, his eyes fixed on the eagle. You can learn so much just by observing, he said to Amanda. She nodded, her gaze locked on the bird. With practiced ease, Mark began pointing out subtle details, explaining their significance. Notice how it moves its head. That's important. Amanda listened intently, captivated by his sharp observations. With Mark's steady guidance and knowledge, the moment felt less intimidating, his insights turning uncertainty into understanding. Lisa leaned closer to Mark, her curiosity undeniable. Have you ever worked with eagles up close? She asked, her tone eager. Mark hesitated, choosing his words carefully. I've worked with wildlife before, but being this close to an eagle is a rare experience. Lisa nodded thoughtfully, letting his response sink in. The air around them was heavy with anticipation. It's incredible, isn't it? She said, offering a small knowing smile. Nearby, Amanda listened closely, feeling a wave of relief that Mark's expertise was within reach. Amanda bit her lip, her expression thoughtful. Maybe it's protecting something nearby, she suggested, her gaze sweeping the area. Mark nodded slowly, the idea taking root in his mind. That would explain why it won't move, he said, his eyes scanning the bushes with growing curiosity. Lisa tilted her head, adding, could it be guarding a nest or something? The suggestion lingered in the air, met with silent nods of agreement. The group exchanged uncertain glances, the mystery deepening with each passing moment. Officer Daniels stepped forward, addressing the gathered crowd with steady updates. Wildlife Services have been notified, he announced, his gaze fixed on the eagle. Amanda found his calm demeanor reassuring, a steady presence amidst the chaos. Are they close? Someone called out from the back. Daniels nodded slightly. They should arrive any minute. Hang tight, he replied, his voice carrying a quiet confidence that seemed to steady the group. His timely updates kept the crowd composed, fostering patience as they waited. Before long, a larger crowd began to gather. Some snapped photos while others exchanged hushed remarks. Amanda caught fragments of their conversations. It looks so serene, an elderly man murmured to his wife. Another woman mused, maybe it's protecting its food. Beside Amanda, Lisa observed the growing buzz. People can't resist a good mystery, she said, nodding toward a group of teenagers filming videos. The crowd swelled, united by a shared curiosity, each person contributing their own theories to the unfolding puzzle. Mark turned to Amanda and Lisa, his expression thoughtful. Eagles are fiercely protective, he said. They almost never abandon their own. His words hung in the air, heavy with meaning. Amanda nodded slowly, sensing the mystery around them grow more profound. Lisa glanced at her, eyes wide with understanding. That does make sense, she murmured. Around them, quiet whispers rippled through the crowd, a shared realization taking hold about the unwavering loyalty of eagles. Captain Reyes stayed firmly in action mode, seamlessly coordinating with local wildlife staff. They're on their way, he announced with calm authority, gripping his radio tightly. Around him, officers moved with precision, maintaining order and control over the scene. Nearby, Amanda and Lisa observed the well-organized response. They really know how to work as a team, Lisa remarked, glancing at Amanda. Practice makes perfect, Amanda replied, her smile faint but reassuring. The crowd, sensing the efficiency and knowing help was imminent, began to relax. Lisa observed the eagle intently, noticing its piercing gaze locked on a specific point. Amanda, look, it's staring at the edge of the road, she said, her voice tinged with curiosity. Amanda turned to follow Lisa's line of sight, her eyes narrowing as she tried to discern what had captured the bird's attention. That's odd, she murmured, her tone laced with quiet wonder. The realization cast a subtle tension over the moment, as though the eagle's focus concealed a story yet to unfold. Gradually, others began to notice as well, drawn in by the quiet mystery. Officer Daniels leaned in, his sharp eyes catching something unusual. Look at these fresh scratch marks on the asphalt, he said, pointing them out to Mark. Amanda and Lisa stepped closer, their curiosity piqued. Amanda's eyes widened while Lisa remarked, it looks like it's been here for a while. Mark studied the marks carefully before nodding. Maybe something tried to move it, he speculated. The subtle clue sparked a wave of intrigue, each new discovery adding layers to the unfolding mystery. Amanda was engrossed in a conversation with Mark. Why would it risk its life? She asked, her voice filled with curiosity. Mark paused, a thoughtful expression crossing his face. Nature is full of mysteries, he replied. Perhaps it's protecting something. Something hidden. Lisa chimed in, her interest unmistakable. Whatever it is, it must be something powerful driving it, she said, a trace of admiration in her tone. The trio's discussion drew the attention of others nearby who listened intently, nodding in quiet agreement as the dialogue sparked a shared sense of wonder. A sudden gust of wind swept through, rustling the eagle's feathers in a graceful display. Amanda shivered against the chill, her eyes fixed on the bird's majestic form. While Lisa murmured, her voice laced with awe. Mark nodded in quiet agreement, his expression betraying a hint of admiration. The unexpected moment seemed to infuse the tense atmosphere with a calm, almost meditative stillness. In that fleeting instant, the eagle's innate beauty served as a gentle reminder of nature's power to captivate, offering a brief reprieve from the building tension. Captain Reyes stood resolute, directing his team with steady precision. Stay calm, everyone, help is on the way, he assured, his voice firm yet soothing. Amanda observed him closely, drawing comfort from his composed demeanor. Every action he took seemed deliberate, each command purposeful. Let's give them some space, he instructed, gesturing to his team. They quickly complied, creating room and easing the tension. The group exhaled collectively, a quiet sense of security settling over them under his leadership. Now, it was a matter of waiting, all eyes fixed on the eagle, their silent prayers hoping for a favorable outcome. Amanda's thoughts drifted, contemplating whether the eagle's stance held a deeper significance. Could it be a signal? Was something hidden nearby? Do you think it's trying to tell us something? She asked, glancing at Lisa. Lisa shrugged, her voice quiet but unsure. Could be anything. The eagle's unwavering posture only deepened their curiosity. Amanda's eyes swept across the landscape, searching for any clue that might unravel the mystery. In that moment, they both felt the heavy pull of the unknown, pressing down like a silent question waiting to be answered. Lisa's anxiety churned beneath the surface. We can't just stand here, she said, her voice tight with concern as she glanced at Amanda. What if it really needs our help? Her eyes darted nervously, searching for some kind of cue to break the stalemate. The weight of inaction pressed down on her, and she shifted uncomfortably. Amanda gave a small nod, her own unease mirroring Lisa's. I know, Amanda replied, her tone edged with the same urgency. The desire to act was palpable, yet they all remained frozen, trapped in the tension of waiting. Mark joined the conversation, nodding thoughtfully. Eagles are remarkable creatures, he began, his voice drawing their attention. They're known for their loyalty, often staying by their partner's side for days, he continued. Amanda and Lisa listened closely, captivated by his insight. Really? All the time? Lisa asked, her curiosity evident. Mark nodded once more. It's part of their nature, he explained with quiet conviction. His words painted a vivid picture of unwavering devotion, leaving Amanda and Lisa inspired by the profound loyalty of these majestic birds. Captain Reyes stood vigilant, his phone pressed firmly to his ear. We're good, he announced, his steady voice carrying reassurance that reinforcements were on the way. Amanda exhaled in relief, the tension in her shoulders easing. Thank goodness, Lisa murmured, her earlier anxiety momentarily subdued. The crowd, sensing the shift in mood, began to relax, comforted by the knowledge that help was imminent. Reyes acknowledged them with a firm nod, a silent reminder to stay patient. He handled the unfolding situation with composed precision, his presence a steady beacon of calm in the midst of uncertainty. Officer Daniels approached Mark, his expression grave. Any thoughts on how to move it safely? He asked, gesturing toward the injured eagle. Mark hesitated briefly, formulating a plan. We'll need to gently place it into a box, he said with care. It has to be done slowly and carefully. Amanda and Lisa stood nearby, their tension palpable. That sounds delicate, Lisa murmured, her voice tinged with unease. Daniels gave a firm nod, acknowledging the importance of caution. The group steadied themselves, ready to face the challenge ahead. The group fell into a tense silence, their eyes locked on the motionless bird. The quiet was palpable, a heavy, expectant presence that filled the space. Almost peaceful, Amanda murmured, though the rapid thud of her heart betrayed her words. Lisa gave a slight nod, sensing the unease that simmered just beneath the stillness. They stood together, bound by a quiet, unspoken solidarity, waiting for whatever might come next. Noticing something unusual, Amanda's gaze locked onto the eagle. Do you feel that? She asked Lisa, gesturing subtly. The eagle tilted its head, its sharp eyes narrowing as though calculating its next move. It's like it knows something, Amanda murmured, her brows knitting together in thought. Lisa nodded, a faint shiver of anticipation running through her. The bird's subtle shift in demeanor infused a quiet tension into the group, all of whom watched intently, waiting for its next move. Lisa noticed another driver, a stranger, clasping their hands in silent prayer toward the eagle. People really care, she murmured to Amanda, her voice tinged with emotion. Amanda nodded, her gaze fixed on the quiet act of reverence. It shows just how deeply it's touched everyone, she replied, admiration evident in her tone. That small act of compassion rippled through the crowd, softening the atmosphere and offering a fleeting yet powerful moment of shared humanity, amidst the tense situation. Mark moved cautiously toward the eagle, his every step deliberate as he gauged its demeanor. Careful, Amanda murmured, her eyes fixed on him. The eagle's sharp gaze met Mark's, its posture a blend of vigilance and quiet composure. Amanda held her breath, sensing the fragile balance of the moment. Do you think it'll fly away? Lisa whispered, her voice barely audible. Mark gave a slight shrug, his movement steady. Let's find out, he said, inching closer with quiet determination. The tension in the air was almost tangible, the scene poised on the edge of an unspoken climax. Captain Reyes stood nearby, his eyes frequently flicking to his radio for updates. The wildlife experts should be here soon, he said to Amanda, who responded with a quiet nod. The wait felt endless, but the knowledge that help was on the way brought some relief. Let's hope they arrive before nightfall, Lisa remarked, her tone light in an attempt to ease the tension. Reyes offered a faint smile. They're our best chance right now, he said, his voice steady with reassurance, silently willing for the situation to resolve without complications. Amanda narrowed her eyes, spotting movement in the bushes. Leaning closer to Mark, she whispered, "I think it's guarding something over there." Mark followed her gaze, his expression sharpening as he tried to make sense of what she'd seen. "Good catch," he said with a nod of agreement. The group around them stirred with curiosity, their anticipation palpable. "Looks like we're not done yet," Lisa murmured with a soft smile, her tone light and teasing to ease the tension. Her words brought a quiet sense of reassurance, lifting the group's spirit. Lisa crouched beside Amanda, her eyes narrowing as she scanned the scene intently. "What did you see?" she asked, her voice low as she peered through the dense undergrowth. Amanda tilted her head slightly, gesturing toward the distance. "There's definitely something out there," she whispered. Lisa's brow furrowed, a flicker of frustration slipping into her tone. "I don't see anything," she admitted, her voice tinged with impatience. Amanda let out a soft chuckle, its lightness cutting through the heavy tension. "It's hard to explain," Amanda said thoughtfully, her gaze distant. "It's less something I saw and more something I felt." Lisa nodded slowly, curiosity gleaming in her eyes, the pull of the unknown drawing her deeper into the mystery. Mark moved closer to the scene, each step deliberate and measured. "Let's not startle it," he cautioned, his voice steady and composed. Amanda watched him intently, a hint of admiration in her eyes. "You've got nerves of steel," she murmured, drawing a faint knowing smile from Mark. The eagle's sharp gaze followed his every move, unwavering yet calm. "If I can just get a closer look without disturbing it," he mused aloud, his words holding the group's rapt attention. Officer Daniels switched on his radio, his voice measured and quiet. "We've got something worth noting here," he said, casting a quick glance at Amanda. She acknowledged him with a subtle nod, appreciating his tact. "Just giving you a heads up," he added, keeping the tone casual. Everyone understood the sensitivity of the situation. This wasn't the time for premature revelations. The atmosphere hummed with anticipation, each person poised and ready for the moment when the experts would take charge. Amanda gathered the small group around her, her voice calm but deliberate as she explained what she had observed. "The eagle isn't just sitting there," she began, her words catching Lisa's curious gaze. "There might be something in those bushes." The group buzzed with quiet excitement, each person feeling like a detective on the brink of uncovering a mystery. "Really makes you wonder," a passerby remarked, adding to the growing sense of intrigue. The anticipation bound the group together, each member eager to unravel the eagle's secret. Lisa and Amanda leaned against the trunk of Amanda's car, deep in thought. "Do you think it's a nest?" Lisa asked, her brow furrowed in curiosity. "Maybe," Amanda replied, her mind spinning with possibilities. "Or could it be food?" Lisa wondered aloud, a faint smile tugging at her lips. Their light-hearted theories added a touch of levity to the otherwise tense moment. "Whatever it is, that bird's not letting go," Amanda observed, her tone tinged with admiration. Lisa nodded in agreement, sharing Amanda's sense of wonder and intrigue. Officer Daniels glanced at his phone and broke into a smile. "Good news, wildlife support is closer than we thought," he announced, his voice brimming with excitement. A collective sigh of relief rippled through the group. "That's fantastic," Amanda said, her mood instantly lifting. "Finally, some action," Lisa added with a playful wink. The heavy tension of waiting began to dissipate, replaced by a sense of anticipation. The air seemed lighter now, as hope for resolution drew nearer. Mark gathered the officers for a brief discussion. "Let's maintain a calm and measured presence," he advised, knowing how crucial it was to keep the eagle at ease. The officers nodded, trusting Mark's expertise. Amanda admired their coordination. "Slow and steady," Lisa murmured, reinforcing the plan. Mark's guidance instilled confidence in the group, assuring them that everything was under control. With a bit of luck, the situation could be resolved peacefully with the eagle's cooperation. Captain Reyes relayed Amanda's discovery to the wildlife experts set to arrive shortly. "They know exactly what to look for," he said with steady confidence. His words brought Amanda a sense of relief, knowing the professionals had been fully briefed. "They'll figure it out," Lisa added, standing supportively by her side. A calm settled over the group as they placed their trust in the smooth relay of information and expertise. The air was thick with anticipation, every breath held in suspense of what might unfold next. Lisa glanced at Amanda and gestured toward the nearby cluster of brush. "We should take a look over there," she suggested, her eyes scanning the area with focus. Amanda considered the idea and nodded, curiosity piqued. "Let's check it out," she agreed, stepping closer for a better view. Their suggestion stirred interest among the group, who exchanged nods of agreement. The possibility of discovering something new ignited a sense of curiosity, drawing them all toward the intriguing hint of mystery. Amanda's eyes flicked between the road and the dense brush, her anticipation growing with every passing second. When the rescue team arrived, equipped with tools and gear designed for wildlife emergencies, her heart skipped a beat. "This is it," she whispered to Lisa, her hopeful gaze fixed on the professionals. The tension in the air was palpable as everyone silently shared the same anxious hope for a successful outcome. The group's collective unease seemed to charge the atmosphere, bracing them for whatever lay ahead. Officer Daniels stepped forward, seamlessly taking charge of the scene. "Let's keep it orderly, folks," he instructed, his calm authority reinforced by precise hand signals that directed the professionals and held the crowd at a respectful distance. Amanda observed him with quiet admiration, a wave of gratitude washing over her for his composed, steady presence. "He really knows how to take control," Lisa murmured to Amanda, who responded with a silent nod of agreement. The atmosphere shifted as Daniel's leadership brought a sense of order, allowing everyone to settle into a focused calm, bracing for what was to come. The eagle's piercing gaze scanned its surroundings, unwavering in its vigilant stance. Onlookers watched with a mix of awe and concern, captivated by the bird's protective demeanor. "It's like a guardian," Amanda whispered to Lisa, who nodded in quiet agreement. The crowd's admiration for the majestic creature blended with a deep desire to assist, creating a poignant sense of shared empathy. Each person felt an unspoken connection to the eagle's struggle, silently hoping for a safe and peaceful outcome. Mark reiterated his earlier advice, urging everyone to stay calm and quiet. "Let's minimize disturbances until we understand the situation," he said, his voice steady but resolute. Amanda exchanged a glance with Lisa, both silently acknowledging the importance of a measured approach. As the group subtly shifted and adjusted, murmurs of agreement rippled through the crowd. Mark's steady leadership served as a soothing presence, preserving a sense of order and calm amid the tense silence. Lisa noticed the unease in the room, marked by a few anxious faces. Stepping forward, she offered a reassuring smile. "Remember, these people are experts, they know exactly what they're doing," she said, her calm voice carrying a soothing effect. Her words seemed to ripple through the group, easing the tension. Sensing the shift, Amanda chimed in, reinforcing Lisa's message. "Exactly, trust the experts," she added with a confident nod. Together, their steady reassurance brought a sense of calm, and the group visibly relaxed as they prepared for what came next. The experts set to work, carefully examining every angle of the situation with unwavering focus. Amanda watched closely, straining to pick up bits of their hushed conversation. Each measured movement reflected their precision and dedication, quietly commanding respect from the onlookers. "They're really digging into it," Lisa murmured, glancing at Amanda with a touch of admiration. The team's meticulous analysis hinted at hidden complexities beneath the surface, deepening the intrigue surrounding the mystery. A palpable sense of anticipation filled the air as everyone waited, eager to hear the team's conclusions. Amanda watched the experts engage in hushed conversation, their faces etched with seriousness. She couldn't help but wonder what strategies they were devising. "What do you think they're planning?" Lisa murmured, her gaze locked on the group. Amanda shrugged, curiosity flickering in her eyes. An air of anticipation hung thick in the room, an almost tangible energy building as everyone waited for the next move in the unfolding drama. Captain Reyes worked closely with the team, underscoring the importance of the eagle's safety above all else. "Let's ensure no harm comes to it," he said, his tone resolute. Amanda felt a surge of gratitude for his commitment to caution. "They're really prioritizing its well-being," Lisa observed. The group's shared dedication to protecting the eagle fostered a strong sense of unity as everyone worked toward a peaceful and compassionate outcome. Mark shared fascinating insights into eagle behavior with the crowd. "Eagles can be unpredictable, so it's essential to respect their space," he explained, his tone calm but firm. Amanda and Lisa nodded in agreement, clearly absorbing his advice. "Good to know," Amanda remarked, her expression thoughtful as she processed his words. This newfound understanding deepened the group's cautious approach, fostering a shared respect for the majestic bird. Guided by this awareness, they moved forward with hope for a peaceful resolution. Officer Daniels huddled with the team, reviewing the scribbled notes from earlier. "Did we miss anything?" he asked, his gaze moving across their faces. Lisa stood beside him, peering at the paper. "The eagle hasn't moved an inch," she said, her tone curious. Amanda nodded, her expression thoughtful. "It's as if time has frozen for it," she observed, noting the bird's unwavering stance. A quiet sense of unease settled over the group as they pondered the eagle's enigmatic stillness. With a subtle nod from Mark, the team prepared to spring into action. "Let's move," he said softly, his voice steady as he flashed a reassuring smile. Amanda sensed the atmosphere shift, charged with a quiet buzz of anticipation. Beside her, Lisa offered a quick thumbs up and murmured, "We've got this." Slowly, the group advanced, each step deliberate and precise, the weight of the moment pressing heavily on their shoulders. Amanda's fingers lightly gripped Lisa's arm, her heart pounding as the team edged closer to the eagle. "This is it," Lisa whispered, her gaze fixed on the majestic bird ahead. Amanda held her breath, the tension hanging thick in the air. "Please, let this go smoothly," she silently pleaded as the group inched forward with painstaking care, desperate not to startle the creature. Each passing second felt like an eternity, every cautious step a delicate balance of hope and apprehension for what lay ahead. Noticing the anticipation in the onlookers' eyes, Lisa paused and raised a hand for silence. "Let's keep it down, all right?" she said softly, her gesture reinforcing the request. Amanda offered an approving nod. Good call, she murmured. The crowd's hushed whispers quickly dissolved, replaced by a charged stillness. All eyes turned toward the eagle, hearts racing in unison as they waited breathlessly for what would happen next. Mark watched the eagle intently, prepared to act if it showed any signs of alarm. Stay alert, everyone, he instructed, his voice steady and authoritative. Amanda couldn't help but admire his calm confidence. Leaning in, Lisa whispered to her, he's like a nature ninja. Amanda smiled faintly, trying to calm her own nerves. The eagle blinked slowly, unbothered by their cautious advance. The group remained on edge, ready to adapt at a moment's notice as a quiet tension hung heavily in the air. Officer Daniels and his team stood alert, their eyes trained on the eagle, ready for the slightest change in its behavior. Stay sharp, everyone, Daniels reminded, his steady voice carrying a sense of calm authority as he nodded to the crew. Amanda observed their unwavering focus and felt a sense of reassurance wash over her. Beside her, Lisa chuckled softly. They've got this under control, she said, glancing at Amanda. Absolutely, Amanda replied, confident in the officer's preparedness. Meanwhile, the eagle remained motionless, its piercing gaze unbroken, adding a quiet intensity to the charged atmosphere of anticipation. The truth emerged quickly. There, Mark said, his breath hitching with excitement as he pointed ahead. It's guarding its mate, he added, his voice barely audible. Amanda gasped as the puzzle pieces clicked into place. Tears welled in Lisa's eyes as she murmured, her tone trembling, it's been protecting it all this time. The realization struck like a wave, washing over everyone with profound empathy. Their hearts ached, moved by the sheer depth of loyalty and love unfolding before them. The crowd seemed to collectively exhale, a shared wave of empathy binding them together. Amanda's eyes glistened, her voice catching as she spoke. I never thought, she began, her words trailing off as she glanced at Lisa. Lisa nodded, dabbing at her eyes. Nature has a way of pulling at the heartstrings, doesn't it? The mood shifted, somber but deeply moving. United by the eagle's unwavering loyalty and the sorrow of its story, the moment left an indelible mark on everyone present. Amanda watched intently as the experts moved closer, their careful hands examining both eagles with practiced precision. Make sure they're okay, Daniels murmured, his voice low but firm as he stood vigil nearby. Beside him, Amanda and Lisa stood shoulder to shoulder, their hands clasped tightly in silent solidarity. The team operated with quiet efficiency, tending to the injured eagle while ensuring the guardian remained undisturbed. Each deliberate action felt like a small step toward recovery, though the path ahead remained uncertain. They're in good hands, Lisa whispered, her voice soft but steady, reassured by the unwavering dedication of the team. Lisa brushed away a tear, moved by the eagle's unwavering loyalty. It's so devoted, she murmured, her voice trembling with emotion. Amanda nodded, the same sense of awe washing over her. It feels like they're trying to teach us something, she said softly, sharing a meaningful glance with her friend. The profound bond between the eagles stirred something deep within everyone, filling their hearts with admiration and a quiet determination to help the majestic creatures find peace.